Alright guys, so we're now able to fetch data using our service, using the Weather Underground API. Now what we want to do is take that data and put it into our application. Okay, so we're going to go to our weather.js file and go to the ng on init. That's where we're calling our get weather function from the service. But we're just console logging in. That's not what we want to do. What we want to do is assign it to a property. So what we're going to do is go up here and say this.weather and just set it. And then in here we're going to set this.weather. We want to set this to weather.current observation. Alright, so let's go ahead and save that. And then we should have access to this.weather from within the template. So we'll go to weather.html, and just to test this out, let's say, oops, we don't need this. We can just say weather dot, and let's take a look at one of the responses. Okay, so you can see that we have this display location object, which has all the city, state, and all that. We want to use this full, which is the city and state. So what we can do here is say weather dot display location dot full. Save it. Okay, let's take a look at our message down here. Cannot read display location of undefined. And so it's saying weather is undefined. Okay, so the reason for this is because it's trying to get weather before it's actually assigned. So to fix that, what we can do is put an ngIf in our content. So asterisk ngIf, set that equal to weather. Alright, save that, and now you can see we get Boston, Mass. Alright, so we know that that's working. We know that we can grab all of the data, we can put it in our application. So now we're going to just kind of map out the UI. Alright, I'm just going to get rid of this for now. So we're going to use the grid system that Ionic 2 offers. And it's similar to Bootstrap or Foundation, some of those other grid systems you may have used. Alright, so we want to first put in the ion grid directive. And you know what I'm going to do is move the ngIf to the grid. Oops, Fred. Alright, now inside the grid, we're going to have a row, ion row. And inside the row we're going to have a column, which will be ion col. Now we have to specify the amount of columns we want this div to be. Okay, so I want it to go across 50%, so we're going to say width dash 50. Now I want it 50% of the container, but I also want to move it over to the middle, so we're going to add an offset of 25. Alright, and then inside the column, let's put h2, give it a class of location, and we're going to go ahead and put what we just had here. We want weather dot display location dot full. Okay, let's test that out. Alright, now what I'm going to do is go to the CSS, weather.scss, and say location. And I just want to set that aligned to the center. So we're going to say text align center. Okay, that moves that over a little bit. And then underneath the H2, we're going to have our icon. Okay, I'm going to put that in a div. And we'll say class equals icon. And what we'll do is put in an image tag, and we're going to direct the source. So src, we're going to direct the source to weather.icon_URL, and that should bring in the icon. Save that, and there we go. Okay, we're going to want to center that as well, so I'm just going to add that right here. There we go. Okay, so under the icon we'll have the, I guess, the string, the weather string. For instance, partly cloudy, sunny, whatever it's going to be. So we're going to put that in an H3. Let's give it a class of DESC for description. Okay, and this one here is going to be weather.weather. Okay, so we get mostly cloudy, and we can add that class of description right here to center it. Save. Why didn't it? Oh. Alright. And under that, we're going to have the temperature. Okay, so that's going to be in an H1. Let's give it a class of temp. And for this, it's going to be weather.temp_F. Okay, we want the Fahrenheit. Alright, and then let's go to our SCSS file, and we're going to add our own style for temp. Okay, we want to align it to the center. Oh, don't want that. Okay, we want it to the center also. I want the font to be bigger, so let's say font size, and I'm going to make that 70 pixels. Okay, I also want to take the boldness away from it, so we'll say font weight, and let's make that normal. Save it, and there we go. Now I want to put the degree symbol after it, so let's go right after it, and we're going to put in the ampersand symbol and then DEG and a semicolon. Save that, and now we get the little degree symbol. So that's the first part of the home page. Now I want to have a list underneath with the other stuff. So what we'll do is we're going to have another row. So I'm just going to copy this IN row, paste it in, and we're going to set this to width 100 so it goes across the whole thing, and then just get rid of this stuff. Okay, and what we want to put in here is a list. So IN list. And then we'll put IN item. Okay, and let's put a strong tag, and this will be the temp. This is going to be the temp string, so it's going to have Celsius as well. So we'll do weather dot temperature string. That should do it. So let's save that. Okay, so there's our temp string. Now what we'll do is copy this IN item and just paste it in a bunch of times. Okay, so the next thing we're going to get is the relative humidity. So we'll change this to relative underscore humidity. Okay, next one here is going to be the dew point. So we want this to be actually it's dew point string, so I'm just going to replace this. Okay, next thing is going to be the visibility. And that's going to be weather dot visibility underscore MI. Okay, then we have our wind. For that, we're going to use weather dot wind dash mph. You can also get kilometers per hour if you want. And I'm just going to add in the text mph after it. And then this one here will be the wind direction. And change this to wind underscore dir. And then finally we'll have the heat index. And that's going to be heat index string. Alright, let's take a look at all those, make sure they're all filled in. That looks good. So in the next video, what we'll do is we'll add the search bar up top and give functionality to that, so that whatever we type in, first of all, we'll get a list of autocomplete options, and then we'll be able to click on it and change the location.